6 of season 54?
Season 96.
Season 14.
Yeah, season 14, and you and Jared Padalecki.
God, it wasn't even that long ago. It was less than 6 months ago we did that.
I know,
it seems like 8 years ago.
TV moves so fast, that even story-wise, it feels like a long time ago. But
yeah.
You were awesome, and I got to spray you with slime.
You sprayed with the slime, and you were a really good director. I have to tell you, genuinely, he gave me some direction that made my acting better, which is so rare in TV. You think that would be baseline for a TV director, but he's one of the only TV directors ever even talks to me. Usually they don't even talk to you. You're just like, did I do good? Well, if the words came in your mouth, you're fine. Moving on. But thank you for that.
Oh, it was a true delight and a true pleasure, and I can't wait for the next time.
Okay, whose panel is this?
Bye. And this is why we love her.
Both. Oh, hey guys. Now we can have fun. Hey, we're gonna do Q&A. I literally cannot see anything. It's like an episode of some political show where right before somebody is, tackled by security or something. But it's great. I love all of you. I love being in Nashville. I had biscuits this morning for breakfast. True story, I was born and partially raised in Huntsville, Alabama. Are there Huntsville people here? Wow. Yeah, Madison, to be more precise. See, we're going into the hole. I can't remember what street my grandpa lived on. I lived on Morningside Drive in Huntsville. Anyway, so no cheers? Really? No Morningside Drive, Huntsville, Alabama. Cheers? So I was excited to come to Nashville, and I was like, oh, I'm listening to my grandma, and then I forgot my grandma moved to Atlanta 2 years ago. So too bad for that, but it's good to be here. I love being in the South, mostly. Hey, let's ask some questions. Are there people on both sides? Let's do left side first. The sinister side, go. Hello. Hey.
First of all, thank you so much for representing geek girls and geekers everywhere.
Yay! Yeah, geek girls are pretty great. Geek women, geek seniors, we're all good.
Yeah. Anyway, well, my question is regarding the interrogation scene in the alternate universe. Misha has often talked about how much he hated his character, the alternate universe Castiel.
He didn't like the weird German accent.
Yeah.
It wasn't creepy with the weird IT thing?
Well, yeah, that's what my question is. He thought it was hilarious and stupid, but did you find, you were obviously terrified, you sold that so well. I mean, how did you feel as an actress about like that whole scene?
It was weird because the episode before I was in, I was also tortured. So I was like, oh, this is a running theme for this alternate universe. Charlie, no wonder she's so hostile. She's very torturable. The thing with Misha was so weird. He walks in and started doing that accent. I started laughing, and then I genuinely got scared because he was really good at it. And I was like, wow, he's a good actor. And then half of me's like watching him act because I'm like, I'm impressed. And then half of me's like, this is creepy. And then cut. Oh, remember that dumb accent you were using? So I went through the gamut with him in that. But genuinely, I was impressed with the fact that he came up with this completely different character, and he was so good at it. I was really convinced, and it was not hard to act scared because he was genuinely creepy. On screen and off. Anyway, well, thank you for that question. That's a good question. Over here, the right side people.
Hi. My question is, what other TV show or movie would you have loved to play a character in, and what character would it have been?
Oh, any show ever?
Yeah.
Like on or off the air?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have definitely been on Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I might have just been Beverly Crusher. I would have killed Gates McFadden and just been her. I wouldn't kill anybody, okay? But I would have just been her, because that was such a good part, being the doctor and everything. Which would be weird though, because I would have been the mom of one of my really good friends, Waleed. So that would be, it also made me older, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I love it so much. I love it with a passion. I also would love to have been on Friends, because I feel like me and Phoebe, Phoebe roommate. Like, we would have just torn the town up, man. Or I would have been best friends with Gunther from The Coffee Shop. I genuinely one of my ideas that will never come to fruition, so I'll share it with you, is just, I would like to do Friends, but just from Gunther's point of view. So like, you're just like him making lattes, look at these attractive people with problems, just kind of like, I hate them so much, you know what I'm saying? I love that. Anyway, thank you for that question. Hey, what's over here?
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good, how are you?
I'm fine.
Great.
Thank you again for representing redheads and showing that a redhead can be a truly powerful woman.
I mean, aren't we generally powerful?
Yes,
like,
very.
I like having red hair because you can just be sassy and kind of a dick to people, and it's like, that's funny, you're a redhead, it comes with the territory. I would not get away with it if I was a blonde or a brunette, do you know what I'm saying? People just be like, you're terrible. But we can be sassy, right? Can we not, or am I just an asshole? Anyway, what's your question?
My question is what kind of stereotypes have you heard about redheads in general? I've heard a lot, and most of them concerning Satan.
Wait, what?
I've been called the spawn of Satan before because of my red hair.
You said what? Who did this? Your grandma?
Middle schoolers, man, they're terrible.
I'm sorry, was it a pickup line? Or, because that would not get anything off my body.
I'm pretty sure it was not a pickup line.
Wow, you are from the deep south.
Yes,
Yeah.
from North Carolina.
I mean, it's fine. I'm from the deep south too. There are good people and bad people everywhere. What was your question? I'm getting a thicker accent the longer I'm here. What were you, about the end, I'm just gonna be like, hey! Hi y'all, listen, it's so good to be here. I love it. I love being here, I love being with you. I don't know about cliches. I do think that people are a little bolder with expecting you to be sassy back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like guys are a little more aggressive because they think you can take the teasing, and then when you just eviscerate them, because they have no wit and they're kind of dicks, they're like, whoa, too far, redhead. And I'm like, the devil is inside me. That's what I do. Okay, next question over here.
So I was wondering if when you found out you were going to come back, if you took a different approach to playing Apocalypse World Charlie and what that approach was.
Thank you for asking this question because I had a long conversation with a girl who was adorable with a hunter green shirt and cute little glasses. Are you in here? No? Are you right there? Okay. Listen, we had a long conversation. And because she was like, well, you're a different character, I'm like, no! I'm the same character! And I don't know if the show really specified this and made it clear. So here, let me just back me up, people who are better at lore, okay? I need affirmation that this was what I was acting on. So, my understanding is that up until season 5, when the apocalypse would have happened, right? The timelines were exactly the same, save that Sam and Dean were not alive, correct?
Correct.
So that, okay. And so thank you, the lore is already here, the chorus lore is here. So then, subsequently, in my monologue, I said I worked at Richard Roman Enterprises, which was where you found me in episode, I believe, 13 of season 7 when Charlie was introduced. So that's where I was working already. It's episode of 20, thank you, Laura. So episode 20 of season 7. So, I was working at the same place that you guys found Charlie. It's just I had been working there 2 years more than had the apocalypse started. So assuming that the Charlie that we all know was working at Richard Roman Enterprises for about 5 years. I had worked there for 2 or 3 years as an IT specialist, right? And then the apocalypse happened and society fell apart. My girlfriend, who ran a cupcake store in Chicago, which is improbable because cupcakes were not really in then. Oh yeah, they were, so it's perfect. The timeline is perfect, guys. So that was a peak cupcake, okay? 12 was peak cupcake. So we were fully on track with solid lore right here. Then the apocalypse happened, society fell apart, everybody started rioting, bad things happened, and then Charlie became, in absence of having a family, because the same thing happened with her mom, except she didn't go back to her mom when she died, and all that stuff. She became a freedom fighter with Mary and all those people. So essentially, it's the same character we know, it's just she never met Sam or Dean, and then she went through some crap and became very jaded, hard in, a lot more, less pop culture because we don't have pop culture in the apocalypse. Maybe somebody's puppet made out of cat hair in the bunker. I love that cat hair puppet, show. Big fan. Had a t-shirt made out of somebody's blood. There wasn't a lot of pop culture, and that's why maybe this Charlie is not as fun. But I suspect, and in my mind, if I were to go back and play Charlie again, that she would be really into pop culture now and probably have a big thing for Daenerys Targaryen, okay? Thank you. Next question.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Sam, and my question is, out of the 4 versions of Charlie, the good, the bad, the AU, and the regular, which was your favorite to play?
My favorite, okay, of all the different Charlies I played. My favorite Charlie was, I have to say my favorite Charlie was Charlie who just came back from Oz. I really loved that Charlie because there were shades of her that I tried to incorporate in the Charlie that we know now, because if you watch the DVD, there was a whole scene that got cut out of the episode where I came back from Oz, and I was in the car with Sam, I think, and I told him about what happened to me while I was in Oz, and evidently I was platonic friends with Dorothy, and I helped her regain the throne in Oz. So basically, I was kind of a freedom fighter there, and things were kind of bad. Not as bad as the apocalypse, and I didn't have as many personal, probably, friends who were murdered and killed in the apocalypse as I did in Apocalypse Charlie World, but I think I saw some stuff. And I really liked that layered Charlie coming back, taking the training that Sam and Dean gave her and taking it to Oz to help her new best friend Dorothy, who she kind of ditched, but let's not talk about that. That was kind of, I loved that character. I thought there were a lot of layers there, but honestly, I love playing the Apocalypse Charlie because she has everything that from the past, and then she has all this new stuff. And having that whole monologue with Sam about my girlfriend who died was one of I was really proud of that moment as an actor, but also I just loved that backstory, and I thought the writing was so good, and it was so easy to be in love with somebody who was just a line on a page because it was so vivid and beautiful. And just having Jared in the car, he's so present as an actor, and he just brings out the best in you. And so it was just a really peak moment as far as Charlie and me as an actor. So thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Next question over here.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that I love you so much, and I'm so thankful that you're such a good representation, and you and the character you play are such an inspiration for young women and people in the LGBT community.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Charlie is an important character, beyond me. Whoever played Charlie would be a force of nature for a lot of people, and also a great representation of what women characters can be. Because even now, when we're really progressive and there's a lot more diversity, we have these opportunities to see a lot more different storylines. Not only does Charlie perform in time, but also there still aren't characters like her out there that are really genuinely representing outsiders and people who have to really fight to get, to just fight for who she is and really just be herself in a way and represent that. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, did you have a question? Or you just want to talk nice things about me? That's okay.
Do you have a favorite moment while working on the set of Supernatural?
You have a question? Okay. Wow, my favorite moment, there's so many of them. I really, really enjoyed the LARPing episode just because... Mostly, and it wasn't really, the actors were great, but the set design was so good. The way they created that village, it made me want. I would have moved in. I would have been like, this is where I would like to purchase a tent, and I will move in here. I will be queen if you want me to. I would be willing to do that for you guys. It was just so awesome. I had custom leather pants. And I just got so many funny lines at the same time. I got to make out with a fairy. What is better? What is better in real life than what happened there? Not much.
Nothing.
Okay? So I really, really enjoyed that. There was a moment on one of the episodes when I met Misha's character, and a lot of people over the years have asked me about pranking, if Jared and Jensen had pranked me, and I didn't really understand that question, because they are always so lovely with me. They really treated me like the big, and like what you see on screen really it was embodied in our relationship off screen as well. And so I didn't understand it. They would tease me when I did something stupid. I mean, like Jared always makes fun of my hugs because I don't like pelvises touching. So I'll always go, hey, what's up? And then he'll like exaggerate it, like, hey, buddy. Smart ass. It's really funny. But you know, they'll tease me gently like that, but I've never seen anything like what they did to Misha on camera. And I finally was like, oh, they're terrible to him. Like a wet willy is one of the grossest things I can imagine. He had like 15 on set that day. Cleanest earlobe in Vancouver. You know what I'm saying? But gross in a way. Saliva.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question. Okay, next question.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I just want to say first that I really love seeing you in Mystery Science. I grew up watching you.
Thank you guys. It's on Netflix. If you want to watch it. I'm in 2 seasons. Season, what, 12 and 13? 13, 14? I'm not It's a lot of them.
It's so much fun. My question to you is, since yesterday was International Women's Day, I was wondering who is your biggest female inspiration?
Oh, that's a good question. Boy. If anybody's ever read about Nellie Bly, she's a journalist who was alive in like the late 19th century, and she was a badass. She went around the world in a balloon. Like she was, but other than the balloon thing, she did some incredible work, and she's a real inspiration, especially if you think back then that nobody wanted women to do what she wanted to do. And when you think about how society has changed, and yes, we're told a lot about what we can and can't do because of our gender. And I just read this great book about it. It's called Beyond Pink and Blue, Raising a Child Outside of Gender Conformity. And you think with that kind of title it's going to be a snoozer, but it's actually a really funny, very accessible book about like not using gender as something to really categorize a child, because a lot of the things we do limit their choices and actually don't have any scientific basis behind them, like boys necessarily being, you know, better at math or something like that. There's no actual scientific proof of any of these cliches that we buy into that are associated with gender. I could go a long time, but I'm going to just stop. But when you see somebody define what society tells you is truth and false, I get really inspired. And you realize that a lot of it is just arbitrary, that we're told a lot of things that society tells us. Like my daughter, if I told her that everybody, when they're 5, gets wings and they all start flying, she would accept that as truth because she doesn't know how the world works, right? But that's how our society is. We could decide, if we all decided tomorrow that we're all going to wear red if we live, you know, in certain states, and yellow if we live in other states, that would be the rule that all of us would just adopt automatically. So we fit and conform into what people tell us the rules are, but they are all malleable. And I think that, especially women, if you defy those and make people start changing what the rules are really, really super inspiring to me. So thank you. Thank you for that question. I'm going to take a picture of that book and tweet it because it's really a great book. And it is very funny. Like the author is super funny. So if you have a kid in your life, it's a really, I think, that important thing to read. Hey, what's over here?
Hi, Felicia.
What's up?
I'm a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Good. That's a good show.
Yes, you were amazing in it. I just want to know what your experience was like working with the cast and crew of that show.
That's really, I mean, I feel like, so I got that part accidentally. It was supposed to go to an Asian girl, but they couldn't find an Asian girl at the time, and they were shooting the next day. I was actually auditioning for a guest star who had a demon in their skull and died at the end of the episode, but they didn't think I was good for that. So they cast me as this other girl who didn't talk that much, and it was fine. I did like 7 or 8 episodes. It was in the last season of a really seminal show, and I mean, it was amazing. A lot of this, Danya Ramirez, who actually a really big actress now, she's going to be in the next Jumanji or something, I don't know, but she was one of the Slayerettes, they called us, and we would sit around and knit together because it was super cool to knit at the time. And so, just a bunch of like, you know, 19, 20-year-old girls just like, so what's up? Are we going to go stab somebody with these needles or what? We did stab people with needles, but not the needles, those days. It was really fun. And I met some of my friends that I'm still friends with now. You know, Joss Whedon obviously used me in a lot of projects, and I still continue to be a friend to him. You know, we're friends. And I'm so happy to have been in his creative world because he really does write really great parts for people who don't conform to what you think the norm is telling you to be. And also, you know, I met a lot of actors who I'm still friends with to this day, Tom Lang and Allison Hannigan, you know, a lot of them. So not only was it really important for me to find a place I belonged in Hollywood, but also to discover that there were places that my voice could be heard as an actor, and then inspired me to write my own stuff, because I knew that I could create a part that would represent me as an actor that I wasn't seeing out there, because, you know, I saw somebody creating parts for especially women who weren't standard before that. So it was really fun and super important. So thank you. Thanks for that question. Next, left side.
Hi. I was wondering, what is one of your biggest pet peeves?
People having their cell phones on during panels. Just kidding. Listen, I'm so sorry. That's really rude. I was rude. I'm sorry about that. My biggest pet peeve, you know, people who have really dry mouths. And to this day I cannot get over it, and I will never learn French because of it. I had a French instructor when I was like 8 years old, and it was she was a tutor, and I would go to her house, and she had really dry mouth, and she would go, je ne sais. Quoi? And so that's, and I was like, just get some water! Just get some water, lady! Oh, she ruined the whole language for me. It's supposed to be a sexy language. Dry is not sexy. Another question.
Hello. Hi. My question is, if you could remake the guild now, what would you do differently?
That's a good question. I would remake the guild. I would make it as a TV show, so we can tell a little bit longer stories. I would have people to help me and not do it in my house, because people leave rings all over everything if you shoot your house. I guess I would have to kind of re-envision it, because like, there aren't guilds anymore. Like, do a lot of people play World of Warcraft, EverQuest, anybody MMO? Anybody MMO players? Yeah. Do we play, you play them now? Oh, okay. Oh, can I join your guild? But it's not nearly as popular in gaming. Like, gaming has changed a lot. Like, so I'd have to change it so they probably wouldn't play like one game. They would probably just be a group of friends that play different games together, which actually probably would be fun, because then you can see them try to play like a League game, or like Fortnite, or, you know, they can play like a strategy game together, and they'd be terrible at all of it, and that would be really super fun. But I mean, I would love to revisit it. I don't know if updating it. I just always hate reunion shows where people show up way too old for when I loved it. You know, like, ooh, you're damn old now. Like, there's something about that irritates me, so that's why I'm like reluctant to be like, oh, let's just go do more episodes, because there's no web series anymore, kind of. It's kind of fallen by the wayside because there's so much television. So I would love to find a way to revisit the characters, not in that bringing old people back. Because then you're just either an old person acting like you were younger, which is sad, or you're just old, and it's like, oh, we're all old together, this is sad. Is that just me? No. It's just me, isn't it? No. No, thank you. Okay, good. Hey, what's over here?
Hi, my name's Cass.
Hey.
So first of all, just like almost everyone else has said, I'd really like to thank you for all your representation for both women and the LGBT community.
Thank you.
It really means so much, and we don't have enough of it in the world, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, we still don't have enough of it. We really don't. Like, we've done a lot of great things in the world in the last couple of years, but we still need, I think women maybe have gotten a little bit more visible, but only in ways that are accessible to men too, in a way. You know, there's not like that weird, I went out for pilot season, and the weird girl's always the one who's just like the tangential person. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a really famous, I'm going to tell a long story, not a long story, but it's just a quick story. A couple years ago, there was a very famous pilot that got picked up, and I don't want to name it, but A famous actress did it, and it got picked up, and it died because I was supposed to go in an audition for it before the famous actress got it, and it was a terrible failure. But I read the script, and the lead character was a woman. And I read it, and I called my agent. I was like, was this originally written for a guy? And the agent was like, wait, how would you know that? And I'm like, because she's the most boring character ever. And so I was like, can you send me the guy version just so I can read it? And I read it. The guy was a screw-up. He played video games. He had like pizza all over his house. He was a colossal, messed up dude who was lazy and he couldn't get his shit together. Excuse my language, children. And it was a good show. And so I guess the network made them change it to a woman. And the guys who wrote the show wrote the most boring, bland woman who was a marketing executive. Like, it was so boring. And I was like, this is why the show is, I don't have a character here. I don't know how to act this because there's no interesting character here. If they had just literally changed, the name from Steve to Stella, it would have been an interesting show. And yet, I think that there's an idea of what a woman is, especially a guy's idea, a TV writer guy's idea of a woman, and it's somebody who's innocuous and only serves them in a weird way. And I don't mean to be like, generalizing. There's some great guys who write women characters, but, especially in TV, it's just this idea of what a woman is so narrow, and it forces us all to conform to something that isn't realistic or, quite frankly, fulfilling. We can't be all who we are if we're just a vanilla person serving the needs of, the people around us. Could I rant less? Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, that was my point. Thanks for that question. Hi.
Hello. So first I have to say I loved you in Eureka.
Thank you. That was a good show. It was a good show. I died in that show too. It's fine.
I was also wondering, what is your favorite board game?
Ooh. I love board games. I produced a show, I created a show with my friend Will Wheaton called Tabletop. It's a really good show, guys. I wish we could do more, but we don't. I have so many. I really love Lords of Waterdeep because I love questing. And this is a really fun game where it's resource management and you do little quests and you get resources that are people and you distribute them and get more. It's really, really fun. It's one of my favorites. I also like this game called Concept, which is kind of like Pictionary, but with a board. And so you're trying to describe to your friends what a term is, and you're using the board to get them to guess. And most people are terrible at it, and it makes me laugh so hard. So those are kind of my two go-to. I also love this, but my third favorite is Marrying Mr. Darcy. It's a card game where you play all the women from Pride and Prejudice. And essentially all the women are fighting over men the whole time. And it's most hilarious when guys are playing. Because they're like, bitch, you took Darcy. And it gets so, because people get so catty and awful about it if you're just trying to take your man. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a zombie expansion to that where you become zombies. It's very good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Over here. Let's say.
Still me. My question is, what is your favorite part about the geek community or being a geek?
What is my favorite part about being a geek? I like rebelling against the norm. Like, naturally, I'm always going to say the opposite of what is popular. That's why I've never watched Breaking Bad. I'm stupid. I'm punishing myself. I understand this. But I always am doing the opposite of what's mainstream. So that already I feel at home. And I like being able to meet people randomly, regardless of color or background or age or anything, and just purely enjoy something with them. And and it's not that I think geekdom sometimes gets mixed up with commercialism. And people denigrate it because it's like, well, you're just a fan of something, it's not real. It's not about that work. That work is a way to bring people together. And like, if I meet somebody at a party who loves Fallout, I'm gonna have a much better time at that party, by the way. But I'm also going to instantly connect with somebody who I might not have connected with if I had not known that. But at the same time, by connecting with somebody who might not have the same background or be the same, sex that I am, or the same,
age or whatever, like I am going to experience a part of life that I would not experience. And that fandom brought us together. And I think that's really cool because at the heart of it, we are all, we could be friends with anybody. We could find something attractive or something to bring us together no matter who we are. And I think a lot of times society, we just put up barriers between each other, especially by the way we look, and we think, oh, I don't have anything in common with that person. I can't learn something from that. We can learn from something, we have something in common with everybody. And the more, and geekdom gives us a way to do that in a way that's accessible and easy. And that's why I love being a geek. Thank you. Right side. Hey.
So I looked up for Horrible, and
Dr. Harlow's
I'm a big fan of musicals in general, and I wondered if you had a favorite musical.
Wait, what? A favorite musical?
Yes.
Sweet Charity, because it's about prostitutes who sing really good. No, it's just a really, I love the choreography and the musical style. It's so 60s. And I'm so excited because I think FX is having a mini-series about Gwen Verdon, who played the original Sweet Charity, and it's coming out, and it's Michelle Williams is playing it, and I'm like, this is probably going to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm so excited. That era of musicals, and up to like Chorus Line and things like that, like, I love the fact that, you know, I love dorky musicals too. I mean, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, those men did not care about those women. It's cool, man, all right? They're all wearing colored pants. Nobody wants to make out with anybody who's not their own sex. It's cool, like, it's totally fine. I love it. It's so campy and fun. Oklahoma, I love more than anything. The songs are so great. But, like, the fact that at a certain point in the 70s, I guess, or late 60s, like, musicals became commentary, and they were cool, like, that's amazing to me. That's amazing. And I just love it. And if I could just go back and do community theater in like Biloxi, Mississippi, I guess maybe I'll do that one day. Yeah, Mississippi. Okay, hey, what's over here?
Hi, I'm Dee, and I wanted to know if, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry, I can't see you, so if you're intimidated by my penetrating gaze, I can't see like 2 feet from you. It's just a glasses thing.
If you were to dye your hair any unnatural color, what would it be?
Unnatural? Are you saying red is not unnatural? Thank you. I mean, I've always wanted like, I've always wanted some like purple, and, oh, well, you're purple? Are you, I can't even see you. Are you purple-headed?
No.
Oh, you're just really a fan of purple hair?
He guessed that you were gonna say purple.
Oh, you were gonna say purple? Oh boy. Did you get money? I hope so. Yeah, I would do purple like a violet, burgundy. I love people with that like My Little Pony hair that has like different colors than me. I love that so much. Oh, it's so pretty. Anyway, I can't do it. I put highlights and my hair is fried. Like I got highlights and I was so happy and now it's like breaking off. It's cool. Then hair is great. Question.
Hi, I'm like sweating and crying and you're like my favorite person in the entire world.
Oh my god, I love you too. Thank you.
So I'm the gum girl. I asked about gum. Oh wait, and I wore the shirt with Frida Kahlo on it for you because I thought you'd really like it.
I can't see it, but I love it. I'm gonna come over this. I'm gonna go over here and see it. Yeah, okay. You have a question? I'm not gonna come all the way over there. Oh, I love it. No, I can't see it. I like it. I'm squinting. I'm making it out. I'm looking at your boobs too long. Okay. What is your question?
Oh, I forgot for a second. I'm sorry. I've asked the same question at every panel. What's your favorite flavor of gum?
What's my favorite flavor of gum? What I'd like, I would like, and tell me if this exists, a strawberry starburst gum. Is it strawberry though? Yeah. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm going to go to 7-Eleven tonight and I will find this. Oh yes, I will. But I also like juicy fruit, but that stuff is awful. Like Like, this juicy fruit flavor is delicious, and yet, what happens within 5 to 7 seconds? It's gone, right? It's gone, and it turns into like the color that I think I would look like if I were like a corpse.
Like gray color?
Yeah. Next question.
Hi, I'm Zeppelin. I kind of have the same question as her, but what's your favorite type of juice?
Great, God, I love this. I'm gonna go off the stage knowing more about myself. I really I like kale apple ginger juice.
Yes!
Because it's my favorite, and if you put a little celery or cucumber in there, like that's my jam. But then I gave it to my baby, and she's like, not like kale. Like with that face. And now she won't drink anything green, which probably is a good policy. But that's my favorite. Did you need me to pick like one vegetable or one fruit? Like I need to be a purist here, or what? Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Float out of here, Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin, right? Does Zeppelin's float, or is that are you leaving? I'm so sorry. Don't leave. I was harassing you. Oh, God. Hey, what's over here?
Hi. First off, I love you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
And secondly, I was wondering, what's something that has inspired you recently, whether it's an object, a song, a person, a moment, anything like that?
What has inspired me? Oh, do I have to stop now? The band's here? You gonna play the Seinfeld song?
They really don't want to see Misha. They really want Misha down.
I got news for you. You missed what happened earlier. Is Mike Borhock came out, made everybody angry, shat the bed.
And then he disappeared.
Yeah, and then this FO
He just literally disappeared.
So now they had it with him.
Well, I gotta answer this question.
All right, fine.
I really love this book called Beyond Pink and Blue. Like, I really just read it yesterday on the plane, and I was like, oh, I was so inspired by it because everything I kind of felt like the world tells you to be just because of your gender is bullshit. If there's no science behind it, and looking at the science behind it was really fascinating, and it just justified the way that I'm raising my child, which is great. I love being justified. Anyway, well, thank you guys. I guess I